Now I do realise if I start off this video by saying that the pink sauce situation is still a big mess, that'll probably be shocking to like, I don't know, a grand total of 2 of you watching this video, but we're gonna cover it anyways. Because even if it isn't shocking, which it definitely isn't, it is still interesting to see how Chef Pii got herself in this situation in the first place, and how she continues to make it worse by the day, it seems. Because in my last video talking about the pink sauce, it was all around this potential lawsuit that might be happening, because Chef Pii made like a GoFundMe, asking for a crazy amount of money, saying that Dave's Gourmet, who were producing the pink sauce, were basically ripping her off, not paying her, she can't afford to live, she can't afford like food and whatnot, and she needs money for a potential lawsuit. This is actually the GoFundMe on screen right now. I believe when I made my video, it had like a total of $1,000 in donations. It now has $25,000? $25,000 for 96 donors? Wait, what? This doesn't seem to make sense to me. Okay, Kyrie Irving, $24,240. What is happening here? Kyrie Irving being a basketball player, I believe. Am I just losing my mind here? Yeah, Kyrie Irving being a basketball player. Sorry, I'm English. My basketball knowledge is definitely subpar. But I would like to think that this isn't the real Kyrie Irving, because if it is, there are a bunch of questions in my brain. I think the main one being, why the fuck does Kyrie Irving care about the pink sauce? But yeah, I mean, it's a stupid amount of money, so maybe it is. It's a bit of a bizarre situation, this, isn't it? The whole pink sauce situation's been bizarre, so maybe this shouldn't be too shocking. But as well as the GoFundMe, in my most recent pink sauce update, we also spoke about Dave Gourmet's response to the GoFundMe. And their statement was basically saying that Chef Pii is a bit of a liar. I know, it's a big shock. But they actually mentioned that they paid Chef Pii $120,000 within the last year, which when you bear in mind that Chef Pii said that she had no money for like food and she might lose her home and go homeless and whatnot, doesn't really make much sense. But Chef Pii is kind of in like the boy who cried wolf situation, where she has lied a bunch in the past, so why would people believe her now? So even if she was telling the truth in this situation, which I don't believe she is, and we'll get into more information later in the video, but even if she was telling the truth, not many people would have her side anyways, so she has tried to combat this by making a bigger statement, an 8-minute and 53-second statement on YouTube. And this video was actually uploaded the week that I was on holiday and wasn't on social media, so Chef Pii, if you are watching this video, can I just say that's a bit inconsiderate? Could have waited till I was back, you know? I've got to capitalize on the views and all that stuff, but yeah, I mean, we'll make do with what we've got.
Let's talk about what is actually going on and, you know, all of this chaos that's going on with Dave's Gourmet. So first of all, I want to acknowledge this $120,000 that they've responded to.
Oh, please do, please do.
And that they paid me. So number one, it wasn't an upfront payment of $120,000.
They didn't say it was, by the way. Even in their original statement, which was less detailed than their newest statement, which we will get into, they never said it was an upfront payment. They said it was within the course of a year, which, to be fair, is probably better, especially for someone like Chef Pii, who doesn't seem to really understand finances too well. I mean, from what we've heard previously, I would be worried if Chef Pii did get that amount upfront, that would be gone within, like, a few days.
They were partial payments, and then also a huge chunk of that money went towards me paying for Airbnb and paying for hotels, because mind y'all, I was homeless for 6 months following this, in which I kept having a security issue because I was promised that I would receive legal help for people spreading false narratives about the pink sauce. However, that never happened.
Okay, right, let's break that down dead quick, but because that is pretty confusing. Okay, so when we try to understand the maths of that, $120,000 over 6 months is obviously 20 grand a month. She's not spending that on hotels unless she's staying in some fucking bougie hotel that I've definitely never stayed at before. But to be fair, she said the majority, not the whole amount. But still, like, how much would it cost to live in hotels? I can't imagine it would be more than maybe a few $1,000s a month. And also, the way she's wording this is almost like she's blaming Dave's Gourmet for the fact that she spent all the money on hotels, when you do realize when people get paid like their salary, they also have to use that on their living situation. You know, people pay rent, mortgage, they might also pay for Airbnbs and hotels. Your bills are supposed to come out of your salary. That is very normal, you know, companies don't just like pay all your bills for you and then give you salary on top of that. And also I understand that maybe if you're moving house, you might have to stay in a hotel or an Airbnb for a bit, but in a 6-month period, like, wouldn't you just get like a rental property or something like that. I mean, she's getting paid $120,000 a year. Like, that is more than enough money for that. All I'm saying is, it is very hard for me to feel sorry for someone who is complaining about not earning enough money when they earn $120,000 a year, because people survive on a lot less than that.
Following this, in which I kept having a security issue because I was promised that I would receive legal help for people spreading false narratives about the pink sauce. However, that never happened. It built up a lot for me, in which they know, and I have proof of the conversations that I actually had with them about not receiving the support that I was promised. So that goes to that.
That goes to that. That really didn't mean anything. Like, everything she just said there didn't really mean anything to me. Like, you know, she did stay at a hotel for 6 months. I would like to think that she wouldn't pick, like, a really bougie hotel if you're going to be staying that long, because that would be very expensive. But let's say a hotel is, like, $150 a night. Not really sure about the price in America, but let's say they are $150 a night. You're there for a 6-month period. It's, like, just below $30,000, which, again, would be really stupid. Like, it'd be a stupid decision financially, wouldn't it? But even then, there's another $90,000 that we aren't aware of, and even if it is more than what I just estimated there's still a lot of money left over. So where has that gone?
People speculating about me getting my body done. Me getting my body done would not make me broke. And this ass came from Eunice. This is my ass.
Oh god, Bailey was not happy about that explanation at all. Yeah, I can't lie, I didn't see anyone suggesting that this is where all her money went, but maybe they did. I guess that's worth mentioning.
And who makes a financial decision that would make them broke?
Meaning I wouldn't put myself in a bad financial situation just to get surgery. But I would still love to know where the rest of the money's gone, because that hasn't been explained, and I get it, it's not really much of our business most of the time in terms of people's finances. But she has made a GoFundMe and has raised $25,000 of other people's money. I feel like people deserve to know where the other bit of money's gone.
Also, going back to my royalty, a lot of people like speculating or putting their input in. My royalty is supposed to be paid to me before any expenses. Before any expenses, I'm supposed to be cut my check. However, little do y'all know, or y'all do not know, because I've been silent for so long. We've been going through this since January. We've been going through this since January. So I literally have proof as to how the royalty was collected when I received my royalty for Q1. When I received my royalty for Q1, it was paid to me before any expenses.
Yeah, so in Dave Gourmet's response, they do explain this a lot better. It is very confusing the way that Chef Pii tries to explain it. But the one thing I would love to know throughout all of this is, what are Chef Pii's expenses? From what I can gather in this whole situation, Dave's Gourmet is responsible for making the pink sauce and shipping the pink sauce. Like, they have all the expenses on their side. And I'm pretty sure Chef Pii's side is genuinely just marketing, which, by the way, is TikTok videos. So I would genuinely love to know what Chef Pii's expenses are in all of this, because apparently it's a lot.
Now that I'm uncomfortable and they know that I would have been hiring legal help, they make this bogus excuse as to why they're putting expenses on top of my royalty. It does not work like that.
I'm sorry, right? I know I obviously haven't seen the contract, but I would bet a lot of money, and yet again, not really based on fact, but I would bet a lot of money that what Chef Pii is complaining about here is probably part of the contract. Because as we'll see by Dave Gourmet's response later in the video, they did take like some expenses out of Chef Pii's pay because it was money that she had asked for previously for certain expenses that she wasn't supposed to get. So they give her some money and then ended up taking it out of her pay at a later date because she needed the money now for whatever reason, and that seems pretty reasonable to me. But again, like I mentioned in my previous video, I really wouldn't be surprised if Chef Pii just didn't read this contract properly in the slightest and just signed it once she saw like a few numbers that she liked.
It's like, long story short, these people defrauded me. So I would have to sue them for fraud, because it's not only the calculation of the royalty, but it's everything else that is deteriorating my business and my brand.
I'm sorry, Chef Pii, but I think you've deteriorated your brand just fine. This brand was at rock bottom before Dave's Gourmet even got involved. In fact, it was probably very nice of them to get involved at that point because the reputation was in the drain. But of course, we are talking about Chef Pii here, who in the past hasn't really took responsibility for what she's done wrong, so I guess she's probably buzzing that she can now blame someone else. Seems that way.
This is an innovative brand. This is an innovative product, which comes with risk.
Yes, risks like botulism. The biggest risk of them all.
The marketing is the company. They did not do that, which caused me to suffer drastically.
So yeah, Dave's Gourmet responded to this and basically said that Chef Pii is the one responsible for the marketing, which again, we haven't seen the contract, but that makes a lot of sense because if Dave's Gourmet are responsible for creating the product and all the marketing, then what the fuck is Chef Pii responsible for? The only reason they would ever get involved in the product is because it was viral. Like, clearly the sauce wasn't very good, that's what we've heard from a lot of reviews, but it was big. A lot of people knew about it, and that is the reason they got involved, because it was viral on TikTok, and because Chef Pii made it viral, they could use that as the marketing. Very cheap marketing, might I add, just TikTok videos, and then they can create the product and sell a bunch. I'd be very shocked if that wasn't the deal. You know, Dave's Gourmet are responsible for creating the product and selling the product, and Chef Pii is there for marketing. That's the only thing that really makes sense to me.
I'm not looking at the $1 million that was made. I'm looking at the millions and millions of dollars that wasn't made because they're not freaking listening to me.
God, honestly, the cheek of Chef Pii to try and blame other people for her product failing is mental. She's very delusional, and it is entertaining to watch, I'll give her that, but come on, like, you clearly ruined this business just fine yourself. Are we just gonna forget about the months and months of criticism that Pink Sauce had before Dave's Gourmet was even involved? Are we just gonna ignore the fact that people's packages were, like, exploding in transport? Are we gonna ignore the fact that it actually really wasn't safe to eat? Are we gonna ignore the fact that you went on some talk show to basically just, like, belittle some woman because she made a review on your product and didn't really like it, and you tried to embarrass her on this big talk show and gang up on her with the talk show host? Are we gonna ignore the fact that throughout all of this, you really haven't took any responsibility at all until you really needed to? Like, are we just gonna forget about that type of stuff? I mean, it seems like to me from an outside perspective, as soon as Dave Gourmet got involved, the product had the best reputation it's probably had. I mean, it ended up in Walmart, which is better than whatever Chef Pii was doing before. And clearly it has sold a bunch as well. She's just said there that it sold 1 million. She got paid 120,000. So the fact she even got paid that in the first place clearly shows that the product was selling. And yeah, I don't think that would have ever happened without their help. And I don't really get what she's so bothered about.
They're not listening to me. Like, it's so crazy. In freaking October, I was talking about a whole Barbie themed campaign. And no, we wouldn't have used Barbie font. I know people commented on that as well. Like, there are certain ways to do certain things subliminally. But it would have been done, but none of that was supported.
But literally your marketing is TikTok videos. If you wanted to do a Barbie campaign, which, by the way, if you want to do like a full production Barbie campaign, you've got to deal with like a lot of copyright issues. But the great thing here is that Chef Pii is a TikToker who can just make a TikTok video being like, oh guys, the Barbie movie's coming out. Here's my Barbie type meal. And she just makes a bunch of like pink looking food with like the pink sauce on top. Like, yet again, I really don't understand this whole complaint about the marketing. Because that should be Chef Pii's thing, and it wouldn't be expensive. It shouldn't really cost anything. It's a TikTok video.
The pink sauce was built through social media. The pink sauce was built fast through social media, and y'all deserve to see those visuals. Y'all deserve to see a fabulous sauce, and that is not what this is giving. This is giving beige sauce. I created the pink sauce, which is a vibrant, bright colored, beautiful, scrumptious.
Oh my god, she's actually trying to get people to just completely forget about what the pink sauce used to be. Apparently Dave's Gourmet has made it a beige sauce, but it used to be a vibrant pink sauce that looked beautiful, all this stuff. Generally, one of the first criticisms the pink sauce ever got was the fact that it wasn't even pink. People were getting it and it was looking like yellow and orange and like a tan type colour in a bunch of bottles, and she's trying to make this seem as if that wasn't what happened. You can't rewrite history, Chef Pii, especially when so many people have spoke about it online and there's so much proof out there. It's not how it works.
So now I have to work to rebuild my brand, and I am okay with that. And then also in regards to work, I'm comparing, call me delusional, but yes, I'm comparing myself to Beyonce. If Beyonce went dead ass broke, would you tell her to get a job? No.
Yeah, I will actually call you delusional there. The fact that you just compared yourself to Beyonce is genuinely mental.
You would tell her to get another gig, and that's what I'm doing. I'm working my ass off every single day to rebuild the vision and the brand for my business.
Okay, but if you're trying to create this business and you're saying it's not working because you're saying you're going broke from it and you're refusing to do anything else to get money, like get another job on the side, then how do you expect people to have sympathy for you? And why do you expect people to donate their money, even though they earn a lot less than you in a lot of cases? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it seems like she is delusional in the fact that she believes that she has created this monumental product that is going to change the world. And even though she's apparently not making any money right now and she's broke, she should still put her full focus on the product, and then everybody else in the world should support her to make sure that she is financially okay. To me, it feels like that she believes she is like the main character in a movie, and it doesn't really work like that.
I own 100% of the Pink Sauce LLC. I did not sell my bread. I did not give away my bread. These people just took permission and abused it. So they took their permission and they abused it.
God, I would love to see this contract, because I genuinely do believe, and again, this is just speculation, it's just, I'm guessing here, but I genuinely do believe that Chef Pii just saw a contract and signed it. And thought, that'll do, like read a few numbers like that and signed it. And what she's talking about right now and what's happened with this whole situation is probably in the contract.
So I really hope that my story inspires or helps somebody else.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but come on. I'm just trying to picture someone watching this video right now and feeling inspired to create their own sauce, because if that is your dream, this definitely isn't the person to really base that off, is it?
Like this, or that is thinking about signing a deal with another company, please make sure that you have a contract attorney.
Oh, so she didn't have anyone look over the contract. She genuinely just read it herself and thought, yeah, that sounds good. So it's her fault. Like, yeah, I get that contracts can be a bastard sometimes, and people manipulate into signing dodgy contracts all the time, but it doesn't seem like that's what's happened here. It seems like she has signed a contract, Dave's Gourmet written out what was going to happen here and how the deal was going to work, and Chef Pii is now just complaining after finding out how it's going to work, you know, after she signed the contract.
So moving forward, I'm gonna be on here. I'm gonna be talking to y'all, and it might be a little bit awkward starting off at first, but you know, we gotta do this, and y'all gotta see it. Y'all gotta learn me and all of that stuff. And I just feel like I'm free from prison. I'm freed. Okay,
so if she is free in the sense that they're no longer working together, then I would love to see how this goes. Because how is Chef Pii going to create the pink sauce in a safe way and sell it in a safe way? And especially get it in places like Walmart. I just can't see her being able to do that. I don't mean that in a horrible way, but what have we seen previously that would make us believe that? So yeah, as I briefly mentioned throughout this video, Dave's Gourmet have actually responded since this video from Chef Pii came out, and I believe Dave Gourmet's response was actually, what, 2 days ago now? Now, I don't know the exact date the statement was released because it has been deleted. I mean, if we look at Google, you can see like the first few sentences of the statement, but then when we click the link, it says 404 page not found. But luckily, I found another website that has posted the statement, so we can go through it now. Pink Sauce X Dave's Gourmet partnership timeline in August 2022. Dave's Gourmet signed an agreement with Veronica Shaw and her entities, Pink Sauce LLC and Flavor Crazy Inc., in which Flavor Crazy / Pink Sauce LLC / Shaw were responsible for promoting the pink sauce through the digital content, and Dave's Gourmet was in charge of achieving the required shelf stability for the product, making the formula acceptable for commercial production, and following FDA's food production guidelines, production, and sales of the pink sauce product online and to retailers. Yeah, that is exactly how I would assume it would work, right? Dave's Gourmet is responsible for the product itself and making it and selling it and whatnot, and Chef Pii is responsible for marketing. That makes sense. At the time, Shaw was not producing pink sauce because FDA instructed her to cease all the production due to quality concerns. I mean, this is stuff that Chef Pii wants us all to forget about, it seems. According to the agreement, Shaw receives an upfront payment of $45,000 as part of the agreement for DG to pursue the sales of pink sauce. I mean, yeah, Chef Pii seemed to be really concerned about the fact that the $120,000 wasn't paid up front, which I don't see how she would ever think that would happen, but $45,000 for an upfront payment, that's a good deal. Especially considering the mess that the pink sauce actually was at that point. It had an awful reputation, it went to complete shit, everyone seemed to hate it, and she got 45 grand up front. She should be buzzing. According to the agreement, Miss Shaw was responsible for all the refunds for the product that predated the agreement. After the agreement was signed, it turned out that neither Shaw nor her entities had enough funds to cover all the refunds to the people who never received the product that she was responsible for according to the agreement. It is our belief that Shaw was fully aware that there were not enough funds to cover the refunds. There was a hold put on by Shopify and PayPal on most of the cash in her account due to multiple customers' complaints, and even the cash that was there was mostly not available to pay refunds. DG couldn't see the customers disappointed with no product and no refunds, so provided approximately $30,000 to cover the refunds, even though this was Shaw's responsibility. Also, without Dave's Gourmet getting involved, it seems like Chef Pii was never actually going to refund people. And I can only imagine the reason that she wasn't going to do this is because she probably spent a lot of the money very quickly. I mean, that seems to be something that Chef Pii does. Look, I don't really like sticking up for a big company when it's kind of a battle just between like one individual person and a massive company, but to me right now, it just seems like Chef Pii is in the wrong, and that's just an opinion, I guess. But I do feel like if Dave's Gourmet didn't get involved with this product, the product could have genuinely been in the bin at this point, completely done. And instead it ended up in Walmart, which I guess that's what Chef Pii wanted all along, so I think it worked out alright. Some of these funds came back to DG after the hold on Shaw's account was lifted by PayPal and Shopify. Prior to entering the partnership with DG, Shaw reviewed and negotiated the contract with the help of her attorney. According to the contract, Shaw receives royalties that depend on the sales of pink sauce, and also there is a milestone payment if certain goals are met. All payments have been communicated and paid on time in accordance with the agreement. DG also advised Veronica that pink sauce royalties should not be her only source of income as they can fluctuate, and she should have a regular job to make sure that she has financial stability. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good advice, right? And that's what everyone's kind of been wondering with this GoFundMe. Why didn't she just get like a job if she's been struggling with the 120 grand payment? At the time, DG did not know if any sales will be generated from pink sauce. In the fall of 2022, Shaw was struggling financially. DG wanted to be helpful, and over the course of several months, provided Shaw with multiple cash advances that totaled more than $40,000 without charging Shaw interest or fees. These advances were supposed to be offset by the future royalties that Shaw was going to earn. So yeah, it seems like these type of payments here, where Chef Pii just basically said she didn't have any money and DG paid her early, it seems like Chef Pii didn't realise that that would then be taking off her future earnings, which I really don't understand. Like, did she think she was just getting 40 grand for nothing? Like, it is quite a bit of money, you know. In March 2023, Shaw communicated that she had spent the entirety of her previous advances and that she needed another advance to feed her children and avoid being evicted. Okay, so let me get this straight. In August of 2022, Chef Pii got an upfront payment of 45 grand and then also got an extra payment of 40 grand in advance, like way before she was supposed to get it. So she got 95 grand in August, or between August and March, and by March, she apparently had no money. Where on earth has that money gone? That's the bit that I would love to understand. Because you can't say it's one of marketing, because what marketing? TikToks? DG sent her 2 advances that total $5,000, but again encouraged her to continue working her other job and pursue her private chef career as she had been doing prior to partnering to commercially produce pink sauce. Shaw wanted to know more about activities related to pink sauce and DG. In the beginning of 2022, the DG team set up a weekly standing meeting to discuss brand strategy to support and collaborate with Shaw. Shaw attended only a couple of these meetings and has not been in attendance since. February 2023, Veronica requested over $10,000 in marketing expenses to throw herself a birthday party, and also provided a request for DG to pay for her dress that cost more than $800 and shoes which cost more than $600 that would potentially be used in a TikTok video. Like, what are we reading here? So this was the marketing that Chef Pii's on about? A $10,000 birthday party and an outfit that cost over $1,000? Is that marketing? Her TikToks are literally just her sat at a table, putting some sauce on a piece of chicken and eating it. That's it. I mean, this is the marketing. It's a chicken wing with sauce on it, and she takes a bite and the video's over. So how on earth is a $10,000 party and a $1,000 outfit part of the marketing? I don't get it. DG suggested a smaller budget, and because Dave's Gourmet would not approve these expenses, Shaw refused to collaborate or contribute to marketing efforts alongside Dave's Gourmet moving forward. February 2023, Shaw attempted to submit business expense report for personal expenses, like buying 4 pairs of sneakers or expensing her grocery bills. DG informed her that such activities are fraudulent and asked a lot of questions related to receipts submitted. Shaw did not respond to any of those questions. Due to the large advances on Shaw's royalty payment, the balance of Q1 royalties owed to Shaw came to $666. DG decided to hold off on deducting $10,000 in advances from royalty payments due until a later period, so Shaw has more funds to cover her needs at the time, and instead paid Shaw $10,666. I mean, look, this is a company writing a statement, so we might have to take it with a bit of, like, you know, a pinch of salt, but if any of this is even partly true, I struggle to have any empathy for Chef Pii. I really don't have any. It seems like to me that she got a very good deal out of this, but I don't know. Clearly she's not happy with it. The balance and payments all processed have been outlined and communicated to Veronica constantly. DG deducted the above mentioned advance of $10,000 at her second quarter royalty payment. In June 2023, Shaw submitted an expense report to DG that included requests for payment for her time dedicated to making social media content. Such request was outside the terms of the agreement. DG asked for clarifications related to the various expenses listed by Shaw, but backups, receipts, and explanations were not provided. I mean, imagine my shock. DG reminded Shaw that business expenses needed to be pre-approved by DG. Dave's Gourmet has kept this timeline of information private leading up until Veronica took to social media with defamatory statements regarding the integrity of our business, which has put us in an unfortunate position to share details that would have otherwise remained private. In total, Veronica Shaw has received over $120,000 in payments from her partnership with Dave's Gourmet and Pink Sauce since August of 2022 to date. She had certain obligations in her contract related to social media activities that she has violated multiple times, but Dave's Gourmet chose not to enforce them, not to create a strained relationship. After Shaw went to social media to create the illusion that she is not being compensated properly, DG communicated to both Shaw and her attorney that DG will cover the cost of Shaw's legal counsel to go through the provisions of the agreement, and the payments to explain that the payments were correct, and DG is following the agreement. This proposal was rejected by Shaw. So yeah, that is the whole statement from Dave's Gourmet, and like I mentioned earlier, don't really like having to stick up for like a big business when it's going against just one individual, but how can you not? I really don't understand how you could have any other point of view. It really does seem like to me that Chef Pii didn't read the contract properly, thought she was going to be getting a lot more money than she has been getting, and she's disappointed. But she started spending like she was going to earn this like imaginary number that she had in her head, which just never came, and now it's resulted in her like wasting all the money. Again, just an opinion, you know, I am just speculating here, but I would love to know your thoughts down below on this whole situation and both people's responses, and yeah, I'm gonna leave the video there. So if you did enjoy, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.